Welcome back to Solid Nation.
Yay!
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 All right, so Billy, how have you been?
I've been very good, Dan, in fairness. Now, I've been enjoying myself. The sun here is fantastic. And I know you're sweltering as well, but
Sweltering.
here it's a cool 24 degrees with a lovely breeze. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's Mediterranean.
It's 35 degrees here,
Oh!
and that is Mediterranean, you know.
Yeah.
It's too hot, you know. So very good, Bill. So on today's episode, I was thinking you have a couple of stories,
I do.
interesting stories from around the world,
I
right?
do.
We'll go through that, right? Then a section I'm calling Dan's Techno Vision.
Oh, very good.
I'll keep it light because I think in a previous episode I was going too bloody heavy. It was like I was giving a conference for the company I work for. I listened back to myself afterwards and said, "God Almighty, you're killing people here." So I'll try and keep it lighthearted, right?
Well, I thought, Dan, no, your company would be very proud of you for the way you were putting it across, to be fair. So they should pay you more money.
Exactly. And then let's have a little sporting section, and the main focus is the World Cup, the Tour de France, and maybe you're interested in the Formula One. So,
I do.
So we'll talk a little bit
I love
about
the
that.
Formula One. Yeah.
Yeah. I never got it. Rich lads whose daddy paid for their go-karting lessons. But anyway, so that's our agenda, listeners, today, right? We're new enough to this, so all the support possible would be great, right? So the usual follow, like, and subscribe, and we won't say any more about that. So, Billy, have you got a couple of stories for us?
I do, Dan. You know the way, like I'm a bit of a news hound. Instead of working, I tend to just look at the internet and I browse through. And I guess my eyes will always be caught with any kind of interesting headline. I mean, politics, yeah, there's no point in it. But then there's other things like disasters. I don't know what it is. I like reading about disasters, and it's not a curiosity of death, but it's more a case of but like I'm interested in other people's lives, ordinary people out there. So this week I came across this story about a French family's holiday in hell, a campsite. Well, no, an Irish family's holiday in hell. What happened was their campsite that they had been, dying to go to, and campsites with kids in France have all the amenities. They're an institution in Ireland, when the kids are a certain age, campsite in France, because they have pool, beach, table tennis, all that sort of good stuff.
And a little bar for the old man there.
Oh, well, that goes without saying, like
drinking the old cheap Kronenbourg.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Like, so anyway, it was a couple of weeks back, I think, and an Irish family holiday at a campsite in southern France. They had their trip turned into a complete disaster movie and they had to be evacuated. The poor old things. Yeah. It was the wildfires that are going on at the moment. Basically, the blaze broke out, and the authorities, and I've been in France, the French have authorities, and Jesus, when the authorities tell you move, you kind of do. The authorities tend to wear guns. So they were basically ordered out, and then suddenly there were water bombs being dropped over by planes over like tourist areas, scrambling around the place, trying to avoid the water bombs. And I guess if a water bomb hits you, yeah, it sounds funny, but it probably wouldn't be pleasant.
No, it's quite frightening. It happens a lot. Especially there's a motorway called the A8 that runs along the south of France, right, going from, let's say, Nice all the way up to Marseille. Yeah. And that motorway, sometimes, fellas are flicking out the
cigarette butt.
Finished cigarettes, right? But the place gets so dry, and Europe is getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah,
it's a real problem. Just on that, right? I was reading an article as well. There is some. I don't know. I'm going to give it the wrong name, but the XPRIZE or something, where they offer like 10 million for some new solution, and what the prize was, I think, this year, and I'll try and get the link to what it actually is. Right. But where they're looking to use very light drones, which are more like little aeroplane drones
Okay.
that can then deploy actual drones to really early detect if there's kind of small flames starting. So to try and kill it at the start, kind of using
Like heat
imagery and
seekers and
exactly.
and then spot something and then straight in then and dose the
Yeah,
place with a drop of water. Brilliant
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Because it destroys the place, right? And if you saw what happened in Los Angeles as well,
I
it's
know, yeah,
it's
I
quite
know.
destructive. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's hope that Irish family got home.
Well, apparently they did, and what they said was, when your glamping package secretly includes a live fire drill and an aerial bombing run, that's a good holiday.
Good lads, the Irish lads. Take
I
everything
know.
with
A
a
pinch of
sense of humour.
salt, and sure, why not? And, kind of as a segue onto that, there was another story. I don't know, Dan, is this true? Like, France is trying to roll out a nationwide outdoor smoking ban. An outdoor ban. I know, like the indoor smoking ban. Fair enough. Micheál Martin introduced that. He's the
Well,
hero for the pubs that's not smoking in pubs. But according to this, like, they're banning smoking on beaches, in parks, near schools, any outdoor place frequented by children, starting in July. So, Dan,
that's the first I heard of it, right? I hope the vapes aren't, but anyway, sure, if it is, do you know what? It might be the best thing for everyone.
well, I
It
suppose
is a bit disgusting seeing somebody, and I'm an ex-smoker, but I'm on the
you're
old,
on the
I'm on
digital
the pipe,
cigarettes.
the digital cigarette.
Yeah.
But it is a bit disgusting when you see somebody smoking on the beach, because what they do is they stamp it out in the ashtray, which is the beach.
I know, and I'm a devil for it myself. And you stick it into the sand, and you just shove it down and quench. It's a great old quench. You don't have to stub. You just shove it into the sand. And I
Yeah.
know it's bad for the environment and everything, but like, come on, French people, they're
No, I
known.
can't see it.
They're
I
so
can't see them.
they are very like there's a smoking culture. They're worse than the Chinese, and they have this cool kind of way about them where they smoke, and if she beckons you over with like the way that she blows her wispy cigarette smoke at you, and you're like, oh yes, is she looking at me? No, that one, that French one. What did they do now? Like,
No, I think it's beginning to die out as well. I think eventually.
eventually, yeah. Well, it will eventually kill. It does kill.
Yeah, no, it's going to die out eventually.
It didn't kill Granda. It didn't kill half the crowd that we know about. He lived till he was 90, and he smoked every day since he was 12 years of age. So yeah, I'm hoping to want to be that exact example for my own grandchildren.
No, you should come on, go on the vape.
All right, I go on the vape. Yeah,
That's it.
And so, come here. So, like, you were reading up some bit of interesting techno news, Dan, or
yeah, a couple of things, right? So this one, I'm not sure what I think about this one, right? But this came from the cyborg Zuckerberg, right? For Meta Facebook guy, right?
No.
So they're building an AI system. So Meta, it has patented an AI that lets you post from beyond the grave. So Meta has been granted a patent for an AI system that can keep posting on social media on your behalf after you die. Yeah?
Come on.
So he wants to double his revenue again, right?
Exactly.
There enough crap on.
Yeah.
Then you have fellas who are like granny posting after. Can you imagine our mother still posting?
Yeah, and she'd be caught. And like what poor our mother does is she does something and invites us all to a conference call. No matter what she's doing, we all get called for a conference call. I'd say 10 times a day we get called for a conference call. My mom's using WhatsApp.
She hits the wrong button, right? So the idea is that an AI trained on your past posts and messages would continue interacting with friends and followers as if you were still around.
But it's not you.
Digital ghosts, when your content strategy survives you.
That's a no from me. That is a no from me. I mean, die with dignity and grace, and you're gone, and we don't have to be thinking about, oh God, because it's not you. It's just a computer relaying trained. It's appalling. It's like, Okay, maybe they can
Yeah,
make some quid out of it, but
I wouldn't.
it's a no
Now,
from me anyway.
now the second thing is on AI agents. So do you understand what an agent is, Bill? An AI agent.
Well, let me see if I get the understanding right. It's something you can set an agent to do things for you, like answer your emails, for instance. You could set it that
Correct.
when a
Exactly.
subject comes in, you can say, okay, AI, when this thing comes in as this subject or whatever, if it's about this, then this is what you send or something like that.
Exactly. So you give it. So it has what we call, it has got like a mission statement, or well, some people call it a soul, right? And then it has something called memory as well, right? So you think of an AI agent, it has a kind of a mission statement. Your role is to handle all of Billy's emails, right? And then it has a memory, and the memory learns over time. So it'll maybe interact with you a little bit at the start.
Okay.
But then the most powerful thing it can do afterwards, when you give it the green light, is it can take actions.
Oh.
So it can so you might be happy with it for about 3 months. It'll create maybe a draft email for you, and you might scan over it. But human beings being very lazy, you'll scan over it for half an hour and say, you're grand there, the AI agents, right? So
yeah.
there is a platform called Rent a Human for AI agents. So it's flipping it on its head, right? So, and this was in an article from Wired. I think the guy who wrote it was Wired, but anyway, a Wired feature article describes AI agents using a marketplace called Rent a Human to hire actual people to promote their own AI startups. So the AI agents are creating the startup companies.
Oh, stop. Oh,
they're
my God.
renting humans, right? And then these human contractors, they get tasks like hyping the AI on social feeds, writing copy, or doing outreach, all orchestrated by non-human bosses. So it's basically flipping the usual narrative.
Oh, whoa.
So instead of humans automating tasks, you have the bots outsourcing the bits that they can't do yet, turning people into gig workers for algorithms.
Oh, stop.
Congratulations, you've been promoted by a bot.
That is a switch. But I guess in a way it's slightly inevitable, because like those tasks, like work, isn't a human activity really, apart from feeding yourself and finding enough resources to feed the troop that you call a family. Actually working for profit, for somebody else's profit rather than your family's, is not a human, it's not a natural human endeavor, because you're working for the king, you're always selling your body for money or coin to survive. And people they don't like it, but you gotta do it. You gotta get up for your money in the morning. You gotta toe that line and do that job and do the 9 to 5. But people would rather not do it.
Can you imagine your Monday morning meeting with some AI agents? How was your weekend, Billy?
Well, I was deadly. After the AI, it was deadly, man, deadly. I do not understand. You need to focus more on your. It could become a total slave master. We could be like, this could be the end if you're letting them control us as what. Like, if you're getting AI to hire people as workers, we've lost again. The ordinary man has lost to power one more time.
Be quiet, Jesus. I have a couple of articles here, right, on health, right? So one thing I do like about the potential of research with AI, because as AI gets more intelligent, and you and me are getting to that age where I think we're just on the limit for things like longevity, etc.
Okay.
There's an interesting one here, but it's a bit complicated. It's about tuberculosis vaccine.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay.
So there's a new generation TB vaccine candidate, M72, /AS01E, right?
Oh,
It is now in a
catchy title.
large phase 3 trial, which is hard for us Irish, let's say, with around 20,000 participants, aiming to protect adolescents and adults far better than the century-old BCG jab. You had
Yeah,
TB.
I did
you
indeed.
but you had the BCG jab as well, did you?
I did indeed, yeah. So I got, I don't know what kind of a strain it was, but it was a year of, well, coughing and not feeling great and being hungry. And I lost so much weight. I looked good. I must say, I looked kind of like a rock star. I was all gaunt and pale. And I was able to slip into 28 waist jeans. Jesus Christ. Like, I've never had
Bloody
a
hell.
twin. I know. Skinny jeans. Come on. But yeah, I know it wasn't great. And the cure for it was these hardcore antibiotics. And a nurse used to have to stand outside my door every morning, and she handed me these pills, and I had to swallow them, and I had to show that I'd swallowed them.
Oh.
That was the protocol. And of course, you know where I live, there's a few kind of drug dealers would be going around in my area, like, and they were going, Billy, what kind of scam are you running there? What's this deal you're doing? And you're taking all these drugs at the door every day, like. But yeah, no, it was TB. Protocols of TB have got harder because it's spreading in Ireland big time at the moment.
Yeah, and you have a theory for that, but we won't go into it. We don't want to get cancelled. Right?
No.
The other one that's interesting as well, you know, do you wear a watch, or you know those?
Yeah.
It's Trey Alamo. I know, but one of those ones that monitors.
Oh no, not at all. No.
Yeah, they are. I have an Apple Watch there. They are a bit depressing. You're just about to tell you that you're about to get a heart attack. But but no, this one is interesting. So a tiny ultrasound patch that continuously tracks blood pressure.
Okay.
So engineers have built an adhesive ultrasound patch thinner than a postage stamp that continuously measures blood pressure and streams the data to clinicians instead of relying on occasional cuff readings. So this continuous remote monitoring of hypertension is key because blood pressure spikes and patterns are what drive strokes and heart attacks, not just one office reading.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it because, like, anytime you go to the doctor and they take your blood pressure, sure, they might as well just, like, look into your mouth and see nothing. Do you know, it's not telling you anything. Oh, it might be a bit high at that time, but usually the reason it's high is because you're in a doctor's environment. You're not normally in a doctor's waiting room, and you normally don't have somebody kind of poking around at you. So, of course, you're going to be slightly heightened. So your blood pressure is always going to be slightly affected when you go to a doctor. But that sounds like a marvelous notion. But I don't think that people should be wearing these things just because, like, absolutely patients should wear them, and it should be a medical device.
But I do, you know, the one thing I do have a fear is getting a heart attack.
Go ahead, really?
And being on my own, getting a heart attack, right? I was even thinking of buying one of those, what are those machines?
For giving yourself...
I did. I was asking my girlfriend, would she buy it for me I might get her to buy it
for Christmas. Valentine's Day. Jeez, go for Valentine's Day then.
And I'd probably get the banger on the 24th.
Yeah, just as you were trying to set it up with the software. I was trying to install the software and I got a heart attack. It was useless in the end.
We couldn't work out how to install the app on the phone.
And you got a heart attack in the meantime. Oh God!
And Dan's going blue. But anyway, so that's interesting, right?
Very interesting. And I mean, these technologies, like how did the AI, like back to the TB thing? What did the AI do to help this TB drug?
That's
what I love that when the AI is used for a proper, really smart thing, like.
It just helps on the research.
Okay. It gets parsing information and putting things together quickly.
It can process the data from experiments a lot faster. Wow. So what they're doing is now, and then with the introduction of robots, even working with kind of dangerous chemicals. So you kind of have that loop, right, where you run an experiment, the robot is running 24/7,
Yeah.
24, mixing kind of maybe the chemicals. Then the actual data has been captured. It's being analyzed so much more quickly. That you can run experiments by a factor of like 100 times faster.
I get you. Yeah, because
it's
humans can't do it as fast by
Try-
noting the thing and putting it down.
exactly.
Yeah.
Fail fast, right, and then
Yeah.
redo it again. So that
Brilliant.
really is
Like
where
that's
we're gonna
proper
see.
AI. That's proper AI. No, not this fucking soul. Like stupid. Why do you want to be talking to somebody who's dead, who's actually not the dead person at all? The dead person is the one you love and you care about, and the physical being. Like, come on.
Getting a tweet from
a machine.
No, or some fella who you always thought was a dickhead anyway. Right?
He's fucking dead, and he's still sending me these stupid bloody messages.
Exactly. I thought we buried him last fucking year, and he's still tweeting me.
Still annoying me.
Yeah, very good. All right, so that's the end of that section. So World Cup, Billy.
World Cup. Yeah. I mean,
the times are shite though, right?
They are. I know. Like, I really wanted to watch the England game last night because I knew it was going to be a cracker, and it actually was, but it was just too late. But I loved Norway. Your man Haaland, he's like a big giant monster Viking, kill all around him. He's amazing. Like, to be fair,
he is, and even the way he celebrated, no big celebration. You have to go on the internet, right? There's a woman who does an imitation of him.
Oh, I gotta see it.
It is Haaland, you know the song about him, right?
Yeah.
And she's got kind of longish blonde hair, and she kind of whatever way she sticks out her jaw, and the way he walks sometimes, right? Because he's a bit goofy when he's walking, right?
He is, yeah, and I think
he's goofy when he runs as well, but Jesus, he gets there.
He certainly does. Like that goal, oh man. Oh, there was some great old standout moments though this World Cup. I think it's been a very good one. It's been
it's up there because all the main men showed up, right?
Yeah.
Messi has shown up.
Messi, yeah. Ronaldo.
Ronnie. We all love Ronnie.
We do.
Who else is there? Haaland.
Kane. Yeah, exactly. Your
Mbappe.
Man, Mbappe, and the other lad as well. Like France is a absolute a 5-star team. Like, to be fair, a royal flush of proper players. Like,
but that match against Paraguay, right? That referee and apparently the three lads from doing the VAR. They were all South Americans.
But okay. But it was absolutely blatant. Like,
blatant. And the Paraguay didn't even get one yellow card.
I know. But I tell you, Morocco had been taking notice that you're able to nobble France if you just if you play nasty with them, you can, and maybe not as nasty as Paraguay, because God Almighty, they were brutal altogether. They were.
No, there's
violent.
There's no one as nasty as the South Americans.
I know.
But we've got no South American listeners, so we can abuse them to death. So they can go
but like, you gotta hand it to them though; they are absolutely ruthless.
But like the Argentinians now would be. I love Argentine and I don't know their culture, even though I've never been there, but I love their. They've the right attitude.
They do, yeah. And there's a lad who does the coffee, like in the kiosk around where I work, and he's Brazilian. And it was only the other day he dyed his hair totally blonde, and I was like, oh my God! Like, I was slagging him off for the blonde hair. And he said, well, in Brazil, since I think he was talking about one famous Brazilian player, was this I think the older Ronaldo. Wasn't there a Ronaldo in Brazil, actually?
Oh, the famous Ronaldo.
The famous Ronaldo, exactly. Didn't he dye his hair one time? Or maybe there was some other guy. But there he was. And he said, all Brazilian men dye their hair once, you're told,
Yeah,
it's
but
a thing in Brazil.
Yeah, it might have been Neymar as well.
Oh, no, he hated Neymar. He hates Neymar.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He thought Neymar is a fucking baby.
He is a baby, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was crying. He was crying last night.
He was crying, and he's sulky, and I've seen him in interviews, and he's just a spoiled brat. He really is,
Yeah.
and he still is, and he's nearly 40. Jesus Christ, well, maybe not 40. But...
He was a bit like you when you were playing the old GAA, but he used to sulk as well, Bill.
I did not. All I used to do was demand perfection from my team. You know, you got to work it, guys. You got to work it.
Anyway, Bill, I have a little tune for you, right? Just celebrating the heroes or the heroes of this World Cup.
The heroes of this World Cup.
Right?
I like it. I like the notion. Brilliant. This could be the one, Dan.
We call them? They're the Super Five, right? So here we go.
The most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Hey, okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, okay, yeah, let's go. Haaland on the field, eating all the defenders, he ain't human. That boy a cyborg. He's a cyborg. Running faster than a sports car. He's cheating, he turn on the nitro. Football full of zombies eating brains, they be like... Watching Premier League, some of the referees, they be blind in their glasses. Go to the goal.
Referees.
Good call.
It's madness. Dancing in the booth like Bruno. You cannot see me judo. Jump on the beat like judo. Goku call me son, kudos. Erling, Haaland, Kylie, and Mbappe. Yeah, I get it. You play with passion. But it don't matter because I'm from America. I watch the NFL. They smashing. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. An insane goal. I just saw the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Harry Kane, 24/7.
On a football pitch.
That is super, Dan. That is really, really good.
Harry Kane used to be in love with Tottenham. Now we left him in the tragic. They thought they have a nightmare. And wake up to Harry Kane laughing. Oh, I'm a baller. Step to the plate when I shoot my shot. I'm so
shoot my love.
And I do it with the passion. Cook them all up, not average. Said I'm a baller. Step to the plate when I shoot my shot. I'm so fantastic and I do it with a passion. Cook them all up, not average. Said I'm a baller. Step to the plate when I shoot my shot. I'm so fantastic and I do it with a passion. Cook them all up, not average. Harry Kane, 24/7. Keep on hearing the same song. Harry Kane, 300 goals. Still got an empty trophy cabinet.
He's got a...
Yeah.
They're picking up poor Harry Kane.
They certainly are. Although, is it Bayern Munich he's playing with?
Oh my goodness, what a goal! Oh my God, an insane goal! I just saw the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football. Yeah, sitting in Miami. Look to my left and I see Messi. Look to my right, see Ronaldo in Saudi. I ask him who to go. They look at each other and laugh and they say, what do you know? And I'm like, yo, you guys need to tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? Who's the GOAT? Then they looked at each other again and they said, only time will show. But in my opinion, they're both GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Sipping tea on the beach with the blanket over my legs and I'm cold. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Oh my God, an insane goal! I just saw the most insane.
Oh, that was really good, Dan. That was superb. I hope you're going to have to put that out on its own separate. That's a good tune, boy. I tell you.
I might release it as a little short and put a bit of a montage. Shorts.
Okay, cool idea.
Very interesting. So that's it, Bill.
That was because fun. I enjoyed chatting about all of that. Dan, you are such a techno expert. We got to have you regularly spouting on about the wonders of modern technology. Yeah, brilliant. Call, good call.
Yeah, we'll do it, and we'll make it more lighthearted, right? So in some interesting.
No, we'll be fierce hardcore. No, we will. We'll do lighthearted. We can't do serious anyway, you and I. So for God's sake.
Yeah, so very good, right? So follow, like, and subscribe, the usual bullshit.
Indeed,
in there, right? And we'll see you all next week.
And feel free to call us all sorts of, we take it. We'll take it on the
comments. Chin. Plenty comments.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, just like if stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah, if you just want to disagree.
Or any old stories that you've heard that you find funny or interesting.
Because we'll bring you on the show in 2 seconds, I tell you.
2 seconds. All right. Love to everyone. All the best.
All the best. Bye.